Alright, the display's a bit washed out, but we've got a problem here with this DBX 260, and it has to do with the display. We're going to take this unit apart, and I've got another display that's going to go in here because I think there may be something wrong with the wires in the display. Okay, so this is one of two DBX 260 drive units that we use. And in this particular one, we use it with the PreSonus board, really anytime we're doing a show with a digital board. And I picked this up secondhand probably a few years ago. And it's been great until about, let's say maybe, well, the last show we did here before COVID. Screws there on the side. Now we've got some Allen screws here in the faceplate that need to come off. There's plenty of room in here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we need to remove, let's see here, we need to remove the display right here, as well as this board right here. Tell you, with the amount of space that I'm only able to work in and the amount of lighting, this is actually a little bit harder to do here. There we go. So we're going to replace this display. Okay, what I had to end up doing was right here, the screen that went over it like that, it actually just comes off. This is a glass front, I believe it could be an acrylic actually, the front of it. That's what you touch and stuff on the outside of the unit, and then this is what's left behind it. So this little circuit board and wire has now been replaced by one whole unit. The display and the wire. And what I had to do, which was boring, which is why you didn't see it, was I had to get this brass extension off the old piece, off of this piece right here, along with the screw. Because that, where'd it go? That brass fitting, sorry, that brass little extension is not going to be needed, because this is going to slip right back in here exactly where the other one was, and then we just attach the end of the cable into this slot right here. Okay, so the other work that we need to do on this to get this part replaced, I really don't need the front to be able to come off of it. So I am resecuring the front to the frame so it is stable, so we can put the rest of the parts into it. So I'm putting these Allen screws back in. All right, that should do for now. All right, let's actually. Okay, that's the screen here I just put in. We're going to put the actual display in. So this is the really the first video I've done where I have to do intricate work and try to have a camera sitting here where everybody can see what's going on, and it's actually a bit more involved than what I thought. So you have to excuse me if I'm always interrupting the image here. Actually, we're going to need our jeweler screwdriver for this one. Stick it in there and get it started. Get in there and get it held in there. And for those of you who are familiar with ASMR, if you feel yourself getting sleepy and tired and bored, then please consider this video to be an ASMR video. If you don't know what ASMR is, I highly recommend you look it up on YouTube. And I'm hoping that this display is set correctly. Should position correctly, meaning the top, it will be the top. Alright. This all looks okay. Alright. Let me go on the other side here. Before I tighten that down any further, I want to make sure the cable is sort of tight on there, but it should do just fine. Yep, I think that's alright. Yep, this should fit. Alright, I just had to make sure it was going to be the right length. So now we're going to finish securing this into the onto the panel. Okay, there's a little bit more on there. It's a fairly snug fit anyway. Just make sure I wasn't going to strip something out. Let's see here. Yep, that should work. All right. Okay, let's go back to let's see here. Let's go back to getting this placed back in here. All right. Alright, now we're just going to plug it in, turn it on, and make sure that it's going to work before we put the cover on it. You always want to test it first. Alright, well, rats, you can't really tell there, but the display is on. Alright. It always comes up muted. The outputs are muted, which is good. I wish we could, we just can't really get that close, but you can tell. There we go. All right, looks good. I guess we'll put the cover on it. Yeah, the new ribbon cable sitting right over here. I had a little tendency to push up on the cover. Alright, the thing with using power tools on stuff like this, obviously you can use it, but you've got to be really easy on it because you can easily strip the threads. So I use power tools on these just to get the screw put in there, and then I'll follow up with a handheld screwdriver just to make sure they're tight. Alright, this is the rack that we use anytime we use a digital console. There's not much in it. Up here, which I guess it looks like you can probably see it, we have it's a voltage regulator. And then we have the 260, we just put that display in, put it back, and let's see here. That is a little tight over there. Let's find out what's going on. Oh, I think I see it. One of the washers. Let's make some room here. There we go. I'll tell you what. Get me out of there a lot easier. Alright, but anyway, then the crossover you see down here is an analog one. It's an Ashley, and it is our backup crossover in case something happens. It's always good to have some kind of redundancy in your system, just because you never know. I mean, everything's electronic. Everything's a computer. And many times computers are not too reliable. So when I called Harman about getting this part, they are still actively selling. They're still actively selling the 260. All right. We need another one in here. So we'll get the last one in. And this device that's down here, I think you've probably seen it before in other videos. This is a UPS. All of this stuff plugs into the UPS. And it's just there just to handle in case of power issues, power blurps, that kind of thing. And it puts out a clean, constant sine wave of electricity. Okay, all I need to do is just plug it up and back, and then we'll just give it a try again now that it's in the rack. Alright, because we had to unplug everything, take the unit out, we've got to plug everything back in. And it's not too bad, but it's best to get this stuff all plugged in, ready to go, like you're going to do a show. Just so you don't have to worry about it later. So here, we're plugging in, we have a low out. Alright, here's our input. We are using, oh, this particular one, yeah, it was channel 2. That's the input. So we run everything mono, so we just need one input, and then mids and highs out, and then we do have a cardioid output, so we can set up our own delay on a cardioid sub. It is important to run all that from front of house. So we got our low, we've got a low right here, we've got our cardioid, we've got our high output here, and then over here is the input. Okay, once the voltage comes up to speed, if you will, it'll automatically turn the DBX on. Everything is back up and running. Looks like the unit is doing exactly as it's supposed to. I'll just select something off of here. Alright, well that was the highlight of it. Just how to replace a display in a DBX 260. Alright, thanks for watching.